Hello everyone, welcome to the short standing practice. For this practice, the prop that we're going to be using is the wall. So find a wall, whatever it is, and just lean into it. So let's take a second. You can have your hands down wherever they are and lean in your wall. So let's take a breath. My name is Sarah, my pronouns are she, her. And subscribe, make sure to subscribe for more plus size yoga videos. We'll breathe here on the wall. Maybe we want to raise our hands up above our head on the wall. Resting. What does this do to your spine here? Just acknowledging what's happening in your body. Mine's curving more. My butt's hitting the wall. Maybe thinking about flattening your lower back. When I do that, my knees automatically bend. Notice if that happens to you too. But it feels better having your butt sticking into the wall. Your spine's arched a little bit, or pushing your back into the wall. Pick whichever one feels better and stay there for a couple of breaths. And then we will slowly come away from that wall. And here, maybe we want to take one hand onto the wall. We're going to stand maybe like 3 or 4 feet away from it. My arm is pretty straight. It's not like fully straight, but it's out lengthwise. Maybe you want to take your outside foot, cross it over, and then we can raise that other arm up and over top towards the wall. Taking a breath here. And then we can bring that down. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So the opposite arm is on the wall, crossing over, raising that arm up and over, breathing here. And then lowering your hand back down. We're going to come to stand against the wall again. This time we're going to do a half sun salutation, but with our butts against the wall. So we'll start our mountain pose, our butts against a wall. I like to keep my feet nice and wide because when I fold, I like to leave room for my belly. But I'm not fully leaning into the wall, just my butt is touching. I'm really planting down into my legs. My hands are down by my sides and I'm breathing here. Let's raise our hands up towards the sky. And then we're going to hinge forward, bringing our hands down on our legs. And I like to move my belly in between. And then bring my hands down to either my legs somewhere or on the ground. Or if you have blocks, you can bring them to blocks. But you don't have to. Breathing. And then we're going to come up halfway. So sticking your butt into the wall. We're going to look forward. So we're still hinged. I have my hands on my upper thighs. I'm looking forward, taking a breath here. And then lowering ourselves back down. So maybe pushing the belly in again. Notice this time how your back feels. And then we'll slowly start to rise up, coming back up, pushing our upper back into the wall, raising our hands up one more time. Breathing, then bring our hands back down through heart center and down to our sides. And then stepping away from the wall. How did that feel? Did you enjoy that? Did you like that? We can do that again, but this time we're going to do it the opposite way. So we're going to face the wall. So we'll stand in our mountain pose again, balancing across our feet, engaging our butt, engaging our core, hands down by our sides. Let's raise our hands up. And as we hinge forward, we're going to bring our hands down the wall. Hinging at the hips, maybe making room for the belly, and stopping wherever feels comfortable with our arms. So they could be higher up, or they could be lower down, whatever feels right. Taking a second here, taking a breath. Then we come up a little bit higher than you were. So you're halfway or maybe a little bit higher. Taking a breath. And then lowering yourself down again. Maybe noticing it even lower, down even further, even if it's just like a little bit, like an inch, a centimeter, something. Taking a breath. And then slowly walk your hands back up, maybe having them up really tall, leaning into them. If you think about my butt's out, think about tucking your butt or your pelvis in, taking a breath, and then coming back to our mountain pose. Breathing. Noticing how did that feel? Did you like exploring the wall that way? We're going to use the wall again, this time for a back bend. And you can choose how much of a back bend you want this to be. This can be really extreme or it can be not extreme at all. So you choose. So I'm going to stand maybe like 1 foot away from the wall. You're going to raise one hand up and bring it behind your head, not directly, but like to the side, trying to bring your hand flat against the wall as much as you can. It might not be possible, but bring your fingertips facing down the wall. So we'll bring one hand back, then we'll bring the other hand back. Your elbows might be out. Try to bring them in as much as you can, and then breathe here. So we're in a back bend. So maybe this is it for you, or maybe you want to step out, and as you do that, slowly walk your hands a little bit further down the wall. Breathe. You can lower your head and then wiggle your way out of it. So if you like that, you can do it again. Just exploring some fun with the wall. The other thing we can do here is we can come into a warrior sequence with the wall. So if we bring one knee, our front foot to the wall, we have 1 foot in front, 1 foot back. Our back foot's on that 45-degree angle, and we bend that front knee. We can bend it into the wall. So bend it so that it's supported by the wall. And if that's not very comfortable, you can stick a towel there, a blanket, or a block, and you're leaning into it for that support. And then looking forward towards that front leg. You can raise your hands up, and then lower one arm down towards the back leg, looking up for a reverse warrior, bringing that hand back. You can do that on the opposite side. So we option to bring a block here, leaning into that front foot. That back leg, the foot is on that 45-degree angle. It's a little more straight. We're looking forward to that front leg. We can raise our hands up. Option to lower that one back down towards the ground, looking up towards that top hand. Taking a breath, and then lowering down and coming out of that. So that's another option with the wall. We'll do one more standing pose with the wall. We can do a version of a downward facing dog. So downward facing dogs, your hips are up and back. So they're up in the air, they're back, your feet are far away from your hands. But this time, instead of our hands being on the ground, they're going to be on the wall. So similar to how we started with our forward folds, we have a wide stance. We bring our hands to the wall. But this time, maybe we want to step back with our feet, sticking our butts out, wiggling our feet out further, bring your hands down. Maybe you want to step back even further, look through those arms. Take a few breaths here, maybe 5 breaths together, wherever you are. And then we'll slowly come out of that, taking a second, taking a breath. We'll come to sit down with our back to the wall, noticing how this feels for you. I love sitting against a wall. It gives me lots of support. Take a few breaths. Maybe you want to bring your hands to your heart and thank yourself so much for this practice today. Hopefully you practice with us again soon. Thank you.